Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to this edition of SportsView on the 15th of December 2025. And tonight will be good evening, Joe, and welcome.
Evening, Pat. Evening, Darren.
Evening, Darren. Welcome.
Hi, Pat. How you, Joe?
And the last Premiership soccer match is on tonight. It's Man United against Bournemouth, is it?
Wolves.
Wolves.
Is it Wolves?
Yeah,
No, it's Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
They beat Wolves 4-1 last week.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm jet lagged.
No,
you're a world traveller now, huh?
we're live tonight, so anybody wants to make a comment into the studio, feel free to do so. We don't mind what it is, we'll translate them all here, don't worry, and you can join in anytime you like, and if you want to make a comment, feel free, as I said. And the information is up on the bottom of the screen if you want to email us or text us as well. We generally begin with soccer. In the Premiership over the weekend, we had wins for Chelsea, Liverpool, Fulham, Arsenal, Man City, Forest, Sunderland, and Villa, and hopefully Man United tonight. Did you see any of that soccer, Joe, over the weekend?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
All the games.
I think is all is well again with Liverpool, is it, with Mr. Salah?
Well, they've stopped the rot. That's probably what I'd say about it. I mean, to be honest, in the game against Brighton at the weekend, it really could have gone either way. I mean, Brighton had some really good chances that they didn't finish.
Yes, they did.
And but the main thing is that they've gotten 4 games now without losing. So, they've steadied the ship a little bit, and they're moving on. I think.
Yeah, Liverpool are on.
That may have been his farewell to Anfield, I think.
Yeah, I still think that he's on the way out myself. Darwin, what do you think?
Yeah, I got a funny feeling he won't be coming back after the Africa Cup thing, will he?
I mean, it's come at a very convenient time to, cut all ties with him. And just the way that they're going, I mean, even in the game on at the weekend, he had opportunities, but he didn't look like he was going to score at all in it. So,
Yeah, we just lost Joe there for a minute. He was just talking about the chances that Brighton had and that Liverpool and Salah had. He had a couple of shots on in goal,
Yeah, Brighton could have nicked it, couldn't they?
Oh yeah, very easily.
They could have nicked it.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting thing this morning on the news over here where they were showing all the Premier League teams that are losing players for the Africa Cup. And Sunderland are at the top. They're losing 6.
My goodness me.
And then I think you've got like about half a dozen who were losing 3, including United. And then I think it was Liverpool's got 1. Arsenal haven't got any. I think Man City's got 3.
But they wouldn't be in the first team.
Well, no, maybe not. But I mean, for United, their first team, and for Sunderland, they'd all be certainly first teamers. I mean, Chelsea are going to lose a few.
I think Chelsea was one of the group that was losing 3.
Yeah.
But United were losing a Boomer, Omad, and I can't remember the other one. But but Sunderland looked great against Newcastle, didn't they?
Yeah, they looked good. Yeah, they did.
If you think about Sunderland losing 6 in this whole Christmas season, this Christmas period with the amount of matches, that's a lot of players for them to lose, isn't it?
But it's a lot of points to be played for, and if you don't have your starting guys in there, or the best part of your starting guys in there, it can go downhill for you pretty quickly.
They're doing very well in the league. Sunderland are doing very well,
Oh yeah, I mean, to be honest, I didn't have them doing this well at the beginning of the season. I thought that they had brought in too many players. But again, this guy, the coach there seems to know his stuff, and he's got a lot of stuff. They're playing great. They're using every tactic you can, in terms of long throws and the whole thing. So he's bought into everything to take advantage of.
No,
Chelsea looked good as well, didn't they?
I think Spurs are in serious trouble.
But they looked okay, but I'm still not convinced about them. I mean, they what did they tie in midweek, or they lose in midweek, and they're looking now like they might be struggling in Europe a little bit to make it. But I'm still not convinced about them. City, didn't pull up any trees against Crystal Palace, but they scored 3 goals.
Yeah.
And they're keeping the pressure on. Aston Villa looking good.
Well, at the moment, for the Premiership, notwithstanding there's a game tonight between United and Bournemouth, at the moment Arsenal are top on 36 points. Man City on 34, Aston Villa on 33, Chelsea on 28, and then Palace, Liverpool and Sunderland all on 26. Man United on 25, so if they win tonight, they'll be joint fourth with Chelsea on 28 points. So that's the state of the Premiership. Over the weekend, that team from Scotland, what are their names? St Mirren won the League Cup up in Scotland. They are celebrating. They're the same colour as Joe's Grimsby, are they?
Yes, they are.
Yeah?
Yeah, the black and white stripes.
Black and white. And they won the League Cup for only their second time in their history. They last won it in 2012-2013, and they won it this year. And they won it well. They won it 3-1 against Celtic. They also, in their history, they won the Scottish Cup 3 times. The last time was in '86. So that's St Mirren. They have a lot. I was just reading the small of it around. They have a fantastic stadium. That's St Mirren themselves. They're up in Paisley in Scotland. Paisley. Well, I found out all that today, but they have 5 Irish players on their squad. 5 Irish players in their squad. I was just a bit of trivia for people, and well done to St Mirren, and Celtic are 6 points behind Hearts and the Premiership in Scotland as well. So they are under severe pressure.
They are under pressure, and after what happened with Martin O'Neill and what the work he did with Maloney and those guys, for these guys to come in, and why don't you just let sleeping dogs lie? You're in the middle of the season. You've just had a great run of results, and then you go and change the whole system to a 3-5-2 or a 3, whatever he's playing with. He's playing with 3 centre backs, and they lose. They had all the momentum going into the Hearts game. They could have won that and been top of the league, and then they had the cup coming up, and they could have won that, and it could have been a whole different outlook for them. But now, I mean, he's changed it, and why you don't fix what's not broken. If you want to implement your own ideas, then maybe you wait till you have a full pre-season to do that, and you can do it in that time. But in the middle of the season,
didn't Cameron do that in Man United? Where he persistence of three in the back, and now he's not doing that anymore. I'm not saying they're playing better, but they're getting results now with the 4-4-3-3, whatever he's playing, you know.
He's definitely changed the way he's playing and the way he's got the team set up, isn't he?
Yeah.
And you know, he as much as he was saying, you know, whether it was all bravado that I'm not going to change my system, he certainly has tweaked it anyway.
Yeah. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, he had to do something because he had to make adjustments to make Casemiro more effective.
Yeah.
Because Casemiro can do a job, and he will get you the odd goals from set plays and what have you. And
yes,
if he's given a role that suits his skill set at this time in his career, then there's probably no better player with the experience that he's got to carry that out.
he has a good soccer brain. Very good.
Oh yeah, I mean he's been a terrific player. I mean he's won so much in his career.
Yeah.
So I mean I'm glad, to be honest, I'm really glad that he's not going out on a downer with United. That he's coming out and he's holding his own right now and performing well. So I'm happy for him on that standpoint.
Well, I think that it's Brendan Rodgers is on his way to Saudi Arabia. See, I was reading.
Is that what they're saying? He's going over there.
It's almost I don't know which team it is because I didn't read the whole article. It was a bit too long, you know, and there was too much padding in it. But apparently he's on his way over there to Saudi Arabia, you know. Man United are leading 1-0 already by Diallo. Diallo scored in the 13th minute, so they're 1-up at home to Bournemouth. For all Man United fans.
I'll tell you the interesting thing as well, not changing the subject, but have you noticed how Lindelof is playing so much better with Villa?
Yeah.
He looks like a different player.
Did he end up going to Villa, Lindelof?
Yeah. I'm sure he went to Villa. But he's playing like a different player.
So look at McTominay. Look at McTominay.
Yeah, but I mean, McTominay was one of those deals, though. They had to sell him because it made the most sense financially that they would recoup. So it wasn't that they didn't think he was a fine player. They did, but there was no one else that they could move out and make that much money off the deal. So that was unfortunate, right there. And I mean, I think it's the same with Garnacho. I mean, you know, I don't know whether, you know, if you're being devious or thinking deviously, did Amarin, you know, get into pick fights with these guys so they'd want to leave? Because he's another one, Garnacho, that was a big deal financially for them. They got a lot of money for him because he's considered a homegrown player.
His career with United was very hot and cold, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd expect that from a young player. And I mean, like in the Chelsea game at the weekend, it was the same way. You know, I mean, he's doing the same things he did at United. He creates great opportunities and then just misses the target or what have you. So that kind of composure comes with experience. And, you know, you don't get experience if you're not playing. So we all know that one. So, you know, so again, I think they were moving people on to get the most money they could so that they could rebuild the way they wanted to rebuild. And I think that was the plan, you know.
Yes. So. SportsView is a program here. We're live on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. So feel free to make any comments you like into the studio. Now, over the weekend, we had a continuation, the second round of games in the European Cup in rugby, the foremost club contest in rugby for senior clubs. And some highlights of the thing: Leinster beat Leicester. Leinster beat Leicester 23-15 in Leicester. Um, Claremont de Bern lost to Sale Sharks 35-14. So the French teams are not doing well, you know. Durban beat Saracens 28-23 in Johannesburg. And Glasgow had a smashing win over Toulouse, who would be one of the favourites for the European Cup, but just a smashing win for them. Munster had 31-3 win over Gloucester in Parky Keith in Cork. 36,000 people at the match. I think it was what is a one-sided game, obviously, you know. And La Rochelle were beaten 50-21, and Bordeaux beat the Sharks 50-21. Connacht beat them. There's a new franchise from Georgia has entered the European Cup this year called Black Lion. Now they're obviously finding their feet, but they'll have to find their feet fairly quickly because they lost to Connacht 52-0. I wouldn't mind the score. It's just but I think it's nice to see just reaching out to different countries who have a tradition of rugby, like Georgia. You know, they have a tradition of fine rugby players as well. You know, are playing at different clubs, mainly in France. But we'll see how it'll be interesting to see how that will develop. And Cardiff had a good smashing win over Ulster, 29-26 in the European Cup. So it's shaping up nicely, you know. The French teams are not having all their own way, so to speak, in this way, you know. And they are strong, but most of them lost over the weekend. But it's only the second round of games, so you can't read too much into it, you know. And there was complaints about the ticket prices in some venues, particularly in Cork for the Munster game. But I don't know how much a ticket should be for to see a rugby match. I have no idea. You know, they should try going to a Premiership match in England and they'd know all about the prices and everything, you know. But getting my friend Nick, commiserations, Nick. He was over in Nottingham yesterday to see his beloved Spurs beaten 3-0. Is that manager in trouble there in Spurs, Darwin, do you think?
I think Thomas Franks made a big error leaving Brentford because I think at Brentford he was a bit of a superstar, wasn't he, at Brentford?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think he stepped up there, and I'm not sure everything's great in the house at Tottenham. I think some of the players have got question marks on.
Oh, yeah. I think that there's. I mean, I watched that game, and I watched their defending.
Yeah.
And it was schoolboy stuff. I mean, guys not closing people down and letting them get free crosses into the box and turning their back on side on it, you know, and sticking out a heel to try and block across. But that's not defending. That's like just letting them cross the ball in at will. And it's to be honest, I thought for a while that Spurs defensively are just a right mess. And until they're so undisciplined for a start in what they do, and they'll have their good days where they'll play great football and they'll do all that, but then they'll have other days like yesterday where they'll just give up goals that you're looking at it and you're going, really? And then their record for players getting red carded and what have you is terrible. I mean, they have guys out a lot, and they until they sort out the defensive side of it, I don't think. I mean, that was it. The first goal that the goalkeeper played to Archie Gray in the middle of in the middle of the field on the edge of the 18-yard box.
Yeah.
What a disastrous ball that was to give to a player.
Yeah. Well, we've argued on this show many times, haven't we? Like, why don't they just hoof it up the pitch and get rid of it? And even if they lose possession, at least the ball's down the other end, and they've got to start again.
He did you see the one last week that he had?
Yeah.
When he came out and he dribbled the ball,
Yeah.
and then he tried to play it up the line instead of putting it into Rosette like everybody tells you. Yeah. And he gives it right to one of the opposition players who chipped it back in. And then he's blaming the guy up the field for not getting onto the ball.
I don't get. I mean, City did it a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
City had a moment there when they were pity pattering about a back.
Oh, and they're still liable to do that.
And you're like, why are you putting yourselves under so much pressure? Because I don't get it. I mean, just get rid of the ball. And yeah, I know this modern idea about possession and all the rest of it. But are you better off losing the ball in the other team's half or your 18-yard box?
Well, it's the age-old one, and it always comes down to there was one that was out there during the 66 World Cup. Jack Charlton and Bobby Moore were playing together, and Jack wins the ball and he hoofs it 50 yards up the field. And Moro says to him, Jack, he says, what are you doing? He said, well, they're not going to score from up there. Moro looked at him and said, well, Jack, we're not going to score either because we don't have the ball. So there's two sides to every, of looking at it. And of course, Leeds would have been a safety first group, whereas West Ham would, let's play it out the back, let's stroll out the back with it and the whole thing. But I think a mixture of both sides of it is ideal, and it's like you do it when it's on to do it, when it's safe to do it, and you're not going to cause yourself a huge problem by demoralizing your team, giving up a daft goal. I
mean, when they do it when they're forced into the corner, that I don't get.
Oh, it's like what was the one? What was the game that we watched? Was it the Spurs game where they had it in the corner, three of them, and then they got they got robbed, and then he put it in. Yeah. It's like you're playing 3v1 in the corner flag, and then one of you misplays the ball, and you give it right to the opposition. It's like
there was one in the West Ham game where they were doing exactly the same thing, but the only difference was West Ham moved it forwards.
Oh, it was the West Ham game, yeah. It was the
three of them moved. Then they moved it forwards and got away, and they scored.
But the West Ham, the first goal for West Ham, after what was it, 30 seconds or something like that?
Yeah, and it's like
messing around in the corner. Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like you're just inviting trouble, aren't you?
Oh yeah,
all the time. Yeah, but surely, I'm not an expert to talk, but surely the manager of Spurs sets the team up in a certain way and gives, as you know, Joe, gives the instructions. Joe, this is where we want you when this happens. And whatever he's doing with Spurs, they're just getting stuffed on the field.
But Joe, answer this: if you're the manager, you've done it, you've been in that job as well as a player, right? So if you give instructions, yet that other team change their plan halfway through, don't you have to adapt and get a message out there and adapt? But to me, some of those players in that Spurs aren't of the caliber to go, right, they've moved the goalposts here, boys. We've got to move around and do things slightly different. Forget what is being screamed out of the dugout.
Yeah.
We've got to adapt it. And to me, there doesn't seem to be a leader in that team who gets it by the scruff of the neck.
And I think that's a part of it. I mean, you as a player, you're in the middle of a game, right? Or you're playing a game, and you've had a scouting report on what's going on and what they're doing and what have you, and you set yourself up to play the way that you want to play within that, right? Because you have a plan for it. But then when you see that they're not doing what you thought they were doing, now you've got to adjust what you're doing, in the middle of it. And that's, when people turn around and say, well, there's no plan B. There's always a plan B.
Yeah.
It's just a different way of doing things. And there's a plan B and there's a plan C, right? When you have the ball in a certain part of the field, you know where your forward players are positioned. So plan A might be ideally to play the ball to somebody on your right who just turns with it and plays it inside, and then it goes to the forward and you move on and you get the next pass in place. Well, if that's not on, then we've got to go to plan B, which is the second guy up the field. And now two of us are playing off of him and you're supporting from the back. So the players themselves should be able to recognize that. Now, the only thing with West Ham's situation, and I suppose you have to give them a little bit of leeway in that it was in the first 30 seconds of the game, when they scored that goal. So, and that was against Villa, right? That was the Villa one that was that one. And so then, after that, Villa didn't do that again. They played past the press. So they got caught in the first part of it, and then they sorted it out from there, and they went on and won the game with the way they were playing. So yeah, it's hard in the first instance, but the minute something goes wrong and you recognize, no, they're going a little bit different than we thought. Now we've got to change. We've got to do something about this.
They don't seem to do that though, Tottenham, do they? Tottenham and West Ham seem to just be stuck in like one mode.
Yeah, and that's again, you look at the players they've got. I mean, they've all pretty much been there for 2, 3, maybe 4 years, most of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that some of their first team squad guys are out injured and what have you, but you should still. I mean, that mistake for the first goal for Spurs with giving it to Archie Gray in that position was that. I mean, that's just suicidal. I mean, you're beating yourself.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
I mean, everybody in any sport will tell you, do not beat yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's difficult enough to win the game anyway.
Yeah.
But without making your own daft contributions to it.
Yeah.
That's
that's the golf pros 3-putting. That's that's criminal.
Yeah.
You're just giving shots away.
Yeah.
And you're not giving one away. You're actually giving one to everybody in the field.
All right.
So if everybody was on level par after the first hole, for argument's sake, or after 9 holes, and you 3-putt 10, you've just gone to last.
Yeah.
And it's a 3-putt is generally caused by the first putt being the worst putt. It's not the second.
Bring us on nicely, Darwin, to golf, because the Alfred Dunhill was played over the weekend in Johannesburg, and a nice fine golfer, Jaden Shaper, won that in the playoff at -16, and well done to him. And there's rumours around. I was reading. Darwin, did you hear anything? That Ricky Fowler was supposed to be going to live.
Yeah, I heard Fowler had been approached. I heard that Jordan Spieth had been approached and Justin Thomas. So I think they've gone out shopping for a few more players.
Yeah.
And I think them switching next year to 72-hole events again
Yes.
Is them trying to attract players across again.
And also, there's the possibility of the OWP, whatever it is, to get their points ranking
Yeah, I mean
again.
that's the main reason why they're going to 72 holes.
Yes.
It's not
What is?
what the players want. That's because the world ranking is saying if we give you points, you've got to be playing the same amount of rounds as the other tours.
Yeah.
You can't
Well,
get,
that's no brainer.
we can't give you 1,000 points for winning a live event and give the guy who wins on the PGA Tour 1,000 events when he's played an extra round.
Right. That makes total sense, right?
That's the main reason behind it. As much as Liv are saying that the players have been requesting it, the players haven't been requesting it because the players all went to Liv because it was less golf.
Yeah, and there was a bigger break between tournaments.
Yeah, it was less golf with more money.
More money, and they had a chance to double their money nearly by being part of a team franchise as well. I think
you've only got to look at Laurie Cantor going back on Liv. Doing that for a reason, and I'd say 75% of it is financial.
Without a shadow of a doubt, without a doubt,
5% left is because that he knows that now they've gone to 72 holes, that world ranking haven't got an argument now not to give points.
Yes,
because the argument has been that you play less golf.
So that would then qualify them for the majors,
for the majors and Ryder Cups and
which makes total sense. I mean, they're wanting their cake and eating it, saying, "Well, we only want to play 3 rounds. We don't want to play 4 rounds." Well, if you want to play 4 rounds, or if you want to play 3 rounds, that's fine. You don't have to play in the majors, but you have to play the same rules as everybody else.
I think it will be more attractive for the punters, the being punter as well, to see 4 rounds of. There's some terrific golfers on the Live circuit. Absolutely.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it is an addition, isn't it? It's an extra day. Everybody I know who's been to a Live event to spectate, who aren't golf pros, who are just like club golfers, have gone to see an event.
Yeah.
They've loved the whole shotgun start thing because they station themselves on the 8th green, for argument's sake, and they see every single player come through that hole. And as much as you go, all right, if I station myself on the 8th green, I've got to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning to watch the first group go through. And I've still got to be there at 6 o'clock to watch the last group go through.
Well, how will that work now with the start with 4 days?
No, they're still doing shotguns, yeah.
It'll be the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it works. I mean, every single person I know who's been loved it because they could just park themselves in one spot, and they do set those tournaments up really well because they have, I think it's like every 6 holes there's like a hospitality, it'd be a concession stand.
Yeah.
Which got a bar, it's got food, it's got everything. So a lot of people just park themselves there, and 9 times out of 10 they position it so you've got the green and the next tee. So you're watching every single group come through there without having to follow one group round.
That's true. I know when we were at the Irish Open a couple of years ago, I had a pain in my behind from walking trying to see.
Yeah, because you're always leapfrogging because you might McIlroy, for argument's sake, the Irish Open, you might watch him putt out on the 2nd green, but you can't see him off the 3rd tee because the crowd is too deep. So what you then do, you watch him putt out and you run down the next fairway.
Yeah.
And you might watch him hit a 2nd shot.
Yeah.
Then you're up again to try and watch him maybe putt or get to the next tee before the crowd does to see him tee off on the 4th.
That's true.
You're always playing leapfrog. Whereas what Liv did with that shotgun start is that you could park yourself in one spot and actually enjoy every single group that goes through.
So what would that, playing 3 rounds as opposed to 4 rounds, what would that do for players quality wise, playing 1 round less? One full 18.
most of the players who went to live were always arguing that they've got to play 12 events on the US tour to keep their card. And the three of us can sit here and go, oh, wow, you've got to play, 12 weeks of the year to keep your card. But a lot of them aren't doing that either. They'll cherry pick some events in Asia. They'll cherry pick events on the European tour, like the Open. They might play the one before or the one after the Open, but they're getting paid to do those events.
Yeah.
But what the big catch for the live guys was that, forget the introduction money for coming across and being bunged a load of dough to come across.
Yeah, that happens in all sports.
They literally were then going, right, we're only going to play 9 events on live, and they're not asking us to play every single event. I mean, there was a stipulation that you had to play, I think you had to play like 90% of the tour, or you had a cash back situation, give live tour back some money that you'd been paid. But I mean, it was less golf, and then they could peak and practice around the big events that they were exempt for. Whereas they all feel like playing 12 events on the main tour. What does McIlroy play each year? Probably about 18 weeks.
Yeah.
Which slightly different from McIlroy, because he's getting probably $750,000 for turning up. So, you know, he is definitely cherry picking where he's going.
Well,
but he still has to play that 11 or 12 on the US tour.
He can do that, but in live now they've introduced a relegation and promotion system as well.
Yeah.
And a system where you can qualify. So they are beginning to introduce good things into the tournament, I think, myself, you know.
Well, it puts a bit of jeopardy on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Because some of them will be, you know, the ones who drop off live, you could probably name that will drop off live. A little bit like you could 9 times out of 10 name the 3 that are going to get relegated out the Premier League, couldn't you?
Yeah.
But that up and down situation is twofold for live. One, he's not performing. We're paid him a lot of money, and there's clawbacks. Don't forget all of that. So they're not paying people. They're not paying people 300 million to come across and play without a clawback.
Yeah.
If you don't perform and you get relegated, you owe them money. It's not as clear cut as everybody might imagine. But that up and down thing, to me, it kind of works. It's no different to losing your card on the tour and having to drop back to play on Nationwide or Corn Ferry or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
But it's the same in the Premier League, though. I mean, if you get relegated from the Premier League, then you go on championship wages.
Yeah.
You know, the days of you carrying your Premier League contract down to the championship, that's gone.
Oh, they have to go, sir. They have to go.
That's what killed teams. That's what killed clubs originally. I mean, the likes of Wigan and those guys, once the parachute payments were gone, they still. I remember back in the day when Bristol City, your favorite club, Pat, got promoted to the old First Division, when they had Tom Ritchie and Mabbitt and all those guys playing for them, and when they got promoted, the lads all got. Jerry Gow was playing for them, the whole thing. And when they got promoted, they all got paid. They extended all their contracts to 3 to 5 years because they were a young team. They wanted to keep the team together. And they all put them on Premiership money or First Division money, right? Well, they got relegated. And then they went through, after the First Division, they got relegated from the Second Division down to the Third Division. But the lads were still on the same money.
Oh, gee.
And so they didn't get the parachute payments.
No, they didn't get parachute payments. So the club, that's what destroyed Bristol City at that time.
Swansea
then they had to sell. Yeah, they had to sell all their guys off
Swansea were the same, you're right. Yeah.
Cardiff went up, straight up, down.
Well, and Watford did. Watford went through. They spent 2 years in the third division or the second division, I think, before they went into the first division.
Sheffield Wednesday's a great example.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny when you watch some of the old Match of the Day programs. They've been doing sort of retro Match of the Day on the BBC iPlayer.
Yeah.
And you sit there and you kind of go, cool, yeah, Sheffield Wednesday were in the Premier League.
Oh, yeah. They were in 2 cup finals in 1 year. They were in the League Cup final and the FA Cup final and lost them both.
And Coventry City, who will probably be back in the Premiership next year.
Won the FA Cup.
Well, you know. And,
Luton Town, Luton Town won the League Cup.
Yeah. They did.
1 year. Yeah. Portsmouth won the FA
I remember when Aston Villa won the Milk Cup, it was called then. The Milk Cup, remember that?
Yeah.
Andy Townsend was the captain. You know. Anyway, we have a comment here from one of our viewers on LinkedIn, and thank you very much, Mohammed Hashir. He said, "Great, perfect chat, 100% loving it." Thank you, Mohammed. So there you are. Now, we'll move on to darts are on at the moment. When you hear Santa Claus every year, you have darts as well. The World Darts Championship is on over in the Ali Pali, as I say. And the usual suspects are after progressing along nicely. Michael Smith, Luke Littler, Rob Cross, Gary Anderson, Luke Humphries, and Stephen Bunting. They're just some of the players I picked out that people are familiar with. You know, but it's £1 million to the winner of the World Darts Championship. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. You know, it's a phenomenon that is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Television.
How much did Phil Taylor make when he was winning it?
You had
I can't remember how much he was making it.
There was 200,000, I think, was the highest. I think he won.
I was going to say about 300 grand for winning.
Everybody, you know. But
within Matchroom, which owns snooker, boxing, and the darts has overtaken snooker and overtaken boxing for TV rights. There's something stupid.
Phil Taylor, my producer just told me here, Phil Taylor won 8.5 million in prize money in his career, Joe.
Who has?
Phil Taylor. 200 titles, including a record 16 PDC World Championships. His first World Championship win earned him, wait for it, £12,000, while his last win was 200,000. My goodness me. And he won 100,000 for the first 9 after in the final. So there you go.
So
but he did, you know.
Next year at Ali Pali, they're using the other hall, like the main hall at Ali Pali, which will put another 1,500 people in there.
Goodness me. The atmosphere is something else.
They sold the tickets out in 12 minutes.
Well, I believe it. I mean, darts in England were absolutely huge.
Yes, massive.
Yeah, absolutely huge. I mean, every pub had a team.
They had.
And guys had their own dartboards in their garages. And I had one in my house at Grimsby. And I used to go out and practice there all the time, you know. And it was huge. And it was always a big crowd on darts night in the pub.
Yeah.
And then the landlord put on food for the visiting team and the home team. And it was a great atmosphere to be a part of.
I don't know if you know, Joe, but over here now they've got academies for junior darts players who are coming into the academy 3 nights a week and playing darts in their own little junior leagues. And these academies have got something stupid like 100 boards up. They're like taking over like gym areas and it's inundated with kids wanting to play darts, and they're now taking darts into schools because of the mathematical element
Yes.
that they have to work out. You need 132 to finish. What's the numbers? And the kids are getting better at maths because of darts being in school.
Absolutely. I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, you really want a good brain here.
But they really
Bournemouth have equalised with Man United, and it's 1-1 now in Old Trafford. And Rangers are winning 1-0 against Hibernian in the Scottish Premiership, and Derby County are 1-0 up, and Sheffield wins. They're the latest scores as we're on here. Now also we have the Ashes between England and Australia. It was first competed for way before our time. 1882 was the first time it was competed for. So it's every second year they have the most runs in the Ashes series was by who? I know. Would you know that, Derwin?
Who's won the Ashes the most?
No, the most runs in the Ashes.
Oh, I'm going to say something like 580.
5,028 runs by
runs in total.
So who was it?
Donald Bradman.
I was going to say
Don
Don
Bradman.
Bradman.
Yeah, and the most wickets was taken by who? I even knew that before I read it.
I'm going to say Botham or Willis.
No.
Lily.
Sobers.
No, he's
Shane Warne.
Shane Warne.
Shane
Warne, that was it. Yeah, Shane Warne.
195.
Wow.
Did he die? Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Fortunately.
Cheapers. He died young, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember watching Australia
he
play
was
for the
just
Ashes
superb.
when they had Lilly and Thompson.
Yeah,
as their fast bowlers.
Lily.
Wow.
There's a great story, about Lily and Thompson.
Yeah.
You remember the Ashes that Bob Willis and Botham suddenly started bowling and getting them out in the early 80s, I think it was. And they turned it around completely to win that one up in, I think it was Headingley in Leeds. Going into going into the last day, England was something stupid like 50 to 1 to win. Dennis Lilly and Jeff Thompson had £100 each on England to win. And Bob Willis bowled them out. Both of them scored 100 and then took 5 wickets in the afternoon. Jeff Thompson and Dennis Lilly had £100 each at 50 to 1.
Oh wow!
And there was it was before. Yeah, it was before anybody would have been looking at that inside, inside trading, but that corruption thing.
I saw one of, was one of the great South African players. He was the captain of South Africa. It's on Netflix, and it's the one about Juventus when they cheated as well to win.
You're talking about Henzi Cronjak.
Yeah. Cronjak. Yeah.
Cronjak. So he died, in an aeroplane accident.
I did see that.
He flew his little jet straight in, not a jet, but he flew his little plane straight out of Fancourt Airport, straight into the mountain opposite Fancourt on purpose.
Yeah, because he never got over that.
He couldn't face the music about what he'd done.
Yeah. So what he did was didn't he declare?
Yeah.
So there's a picture of the trophy for people. That's what we're talking about, the trophy. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the smallest trophy in professional sport.
Yeah. So here's a question, Pat Barry, for you. What ashes are actually in that urn?
The Queen?
No.
He's joking.
It's the stumps, isn't it?
Isn't it? It's the stumps of the was it the first
All
time
right.
they played?
Yeah, it's the little
Yeah,
ones
the
that
ones
go
that go
across
across
the
the
top.
top. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The wicket.
yeah,
It's not the
And
actual wicket, as in the 3 poles. It's
yeah.
the
It's
little
just the
stumps that
two
go
that go
across the top,
across. Yeah,
yeah, the holders. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
which
I know
yeah.
what you mean.
they set fire
Yeah.
to them in an ashtray at the Lords.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
So,
read it out here for me. All right. The Ashes on, the iconic symbol of the England-Australia cricket rivalry, is reputed to hold the ashes of a burnt cricket ball, though some say it's a burnt ball, a burnt stump, or even a lady's veil. With the most common story being a ball from the crucial match in 1882 when Australia won in England, prompting a satirical obituary for England cricket. And they were beaten by Australia in England in
I
1882
know
as well.
I know every cricketer tells you, as in pro cricket, tells you it's stumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I always read.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you are. And you would consider England the home of cricket.
Yeah, without doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lords all day long.
So now there's 3 tests left in this Ashes series. England have been walloped in the first 2. I don't know what the odds are for England to even come back, but they were so bad in the last test that it finished a day earlier. We're reading that, Derwin.
Well,
There
the
was
first one finished 2 days early.
yeah,
No, 3 days early. The first one, and the last one
yeah,
finished 2 days early.
yeah. There's 5 days.
They,
What do we
they
do?
they've been the Aussies have been slating them about the fact that they've tickets have been sold for 5 days, and people are getting refunds because it's like finished before they've even been able to go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's some great things about Shane Warne. You talking about Shane Warne? There's some great sledging quotes from him to some of the batsmen, especially the England team. That he's apparently standing in the slips one day. No, he's batting, and I think it was Mike Gattin has literally said to him, like, "Course, Shane, you and I have putting the weight on. You're getting really fat," or words to that effect.
Yeah.
And Warren apparently turns around and says, "That's because every time you're away, I nip round to see your missus, and she gives me a biscuit every time I make love to her." They reckon like Gattin, he catches a little thin edge off the bat, and Gattin basically drops the ball about 2 overs later, and
Oh
apparently
dear.
turns around and goes, "You want to try some of these biscuits?"
Shane Warne, of course, he was only 52 when he passed away, which was a crying shame, really, But
Do you
he
ever
was
did you ever see that ball that he bowled against Gattin in his debut?
no,
He literally pitched it sort of just in line with the off stump, as in the one that you could see.
yeah,
So it's not his leg stump or middle stump; it was
yeah.
the far one. And he spun the ball around Gattin and took out the leg stump. I mean, the ball. They reckon the ball spun something like 2 feet round him. It didn't
Jesus.
actually go through him; it went round him.
But I loved these interviews, Shane Warne, because he was he was the Joey Barton I don't mean in a bad way, but you could say off the cuff anything in these interviews. He was irreverent, not a bit PC.
He
And
was a character, wasn't
he was a character and such a talent, an exciting talent for the sport. He was an awful lot to the sport. But we're talking about the Ashes, which is two tests down. There's 3 more to go. England have to win the 3 tests. They have to win the 3 tests to win the series.
he? Yeah, well, they
That's where it's at.
because Australia now they've got Cummins coming back, who's one of their best bowlers,
Yeah,
and Lyons is one of their best spin bowlers, and the next test is like perfect for spinners. And Lyons is probably the best spinner in the world at the moment. And Cummins is Cummins. I mean, he's like something silly. He's like 90 odd miles an hour.
Thank you, Dave, for the comment. He's enjoying the show as well. Thank you, Dave. Thanks for joining us here. And we're here. I think that this is today is the 15th of December, so this will probably be our last show before Christmas. We have to go and kill the turkey and stuff it and pluck it and all that, you know. And Mary, what do you want to do? Do you want to shoot the turkey, or will we just chop the head off? Well, how do you think turkeys wind up on your table? They don't just surrender at the door. So here I am. Anyway, we're just having a bit of fun. Enjoy your Christmas. And I think it's 1-1 still with Man United and Bournemouth, as far as I know, you know. The last time I looked, I just checked here now. Man United have just gone into the lead from Casemiro.
Oh, there you go.
So they're 2-1 up at half time. Casemiro got the second goal. So they're 2-1 up. All Man United fans will be happy with that, you know. There you go. So guys, we're going to have a nice Christmas hopefully, and we'll come to the end of another. We'll see you all here in the new year. I don't know what Mondays are in January, Mary. Is it the 5th? January. If we're all recovered and sober on Monday.
First is Monday. The first of January. First Monday is the 5th.
The Monday in January the 5th. If we're all, we'll check in again to see how we are, conditioning wise.
After the break, is it?
Yeah.
So from everybody, we want to wish them all a very happy Christmas. All the people joining here. And to you, Darwin, to yourself and your family, we want to wish you a happy Christmas. And Joe as well, for being such a fantastic contribution for the whole year and dedication to the program as well, you know. And there'll be something ringing their way to your doors over Christmas. Hopefully you get it. Not like that, dear. When Joe could see it at his old house.
I had to go chasing it down.
I thought that was very funny. The producer didn't put the card in, but I mean, we'll forgive her that. You know, she was probably at half the bottle drank at that stage. You know, hopefully there'll be something left in it by the time we get it. You know,
she'd probably got sports by then, Pat.
From Darwin, from Joe, and from myself, a very happy Christmas, guys, and a great New Year. We'll see you all back here, hopefully on the 5th.
Have a great Christmas, boys.
Have a great Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year.
See you soon.
Happy Christmas. Happy New Year.
And what do we say?
Oh,
I better play out the music as well.
I'll take you to that.
I'm going to play the wrong one.